Hello everybody, Andy here from Glass Half Dead, and today I'm opening the Warhammer Underworlds Embergard, obviously from Games Workshop, who sent this to me for review, overview, unbox and never touch again. Who knows? Let's find out. At this point in time, I know almost nothing about this, but hopefully by the time I end this video, I'm going to know something. There you go. What is Warhammer Underworlds? Good question, thanks for asking. It used to be something. And now it is something slightly different. It is a niche of a niche, or if you want to say it's something a little bit more politely maybe, it's a hybrid. So it's supposed to be the connective tissue between a board game and a card game. So it actually, despite the fact it has miniatures, it has nothing to do with wargaming. It has, if you want the hobby, you've got that. Everybody knows that Warhammer Underworlds does pretty much unanimously agreed upon some of Games Workshop's best models. If you want models, Underworlds is still the place to get them. They look stunning. Cool. However, from a gameplay perspective, it's trying to bridge that gap between board gamers who find the idea of having to measure things using something from a hardware aisle not something they're interested in, but also bring in that kind of that card game, that board game aspect into the world of Warhammer, where they can then maybe look elsewhere after they've done that. Now, it used to be pitched as their competitive version, and they were leaning really, really heavily into this is a card game. This is a constantly rotating format. This is for the top tier competitive players that want to have a almost Magic the Gathering like experience. That has changed. For example, well, we'll see in a moment on the top down, it used to say Warhammer Underworlds, on the front box it said Warhammer Underworlds, the competitive game, competitive board game, whatever it said, board game, card game, whatever. Now it says miniatures, cards, combat. Now, clearly, the marketing guys took a day off. That's fine, it's whatever. However, we can tell that they have changed their viewpoint. And I do believe it seems like they've changed not just their marketing, but also, as this is a new edition with a new rule set, who the game is genuinely aimed at, and they're unifying the fact that the last editions of Underworlds clearly underperformed in some way, who knows what way that may be, and they want to unify that going forwards into this is for a different person. This is no longer for the Magic the Gathering crowd. That's not what Underworlds is. This is for somebody else. Who? I don't know. Let's unbox it and find out. Cool. Go. Okay, here we go. Miniatures, cards, combat. It's what we all want. It's the core game. Presumably, if they're doing it like they did the last time, where you start with the core game, and then we'll also have card pack expansions and model expansions. Cool. Right, this is everything you get on the box. First things first, there is something of note here, which perhaps if you're just watching this because you watch me, not because you know anything about Underworlds, do note it is a 30-minute game. The way this used to be played, I don't know how it's played anymore, in competitive events, was that you would have 3 games against your opponent because they're all quite fast, which is cool. I really like that. One of the things that always attracted me to Underworld is that it is a faster game, which I really like. Cool. Let's see what's in this bad boy. This is, as you can tell, my first time opening it. So this is all our gubbins. Cool. This is our models, which I will show you. Here you go. I don't really have anything to say about the model sprues. I know that people like to see them. This is Skaven, and I'm going to guess that's brown, but I am colorblind, so it could be anything. Now, out of these two, hey, you don't need me to talk aesthetics, right? You know what you like. I prefer these bad boys right here. If I have completed painting these by the time I edit this video, right now I'm flashing up on screen what those look like painted. Sorry if that was just a bit of silence and a blank screen there. My bad. But I understand that a lot of people are going to like a Skaven more and they find the Stormcast very generic. Oh, lovely. So we've got some nice orange dice. They're a little bit see-through, a little bit transparent. That's cool. I like it. That, okay. And we've then got some opaque dice. I don't like these colours. I'm just going to say that right now because I don't know what colour these are. Are these orange and red? Great. Great for the colourblind people out there. I've got no clue what those colours are. Right, lovely. Okay, let's get to the important stuff. Oh no, hold on, I've got to open it. So, what are we trying to find out as we look through here? I think we actually probably already know everything we need to know. We've just seen them play through it on stream for the first time, and that was interesting. I actually thought they did a really good job, if I'm honest. I thought it was a very, very watchable stream. However, just from an optics perspective, it being 2 hours was probably a poor choice. They probably should not have done a 2-hour stream for a game that takes half an hour to play, right? But hey, is what it is what it is. Oh, that whole thing pulls out, okay. All right, and then everything else in there is filler, just like every video on my channel. Cool. Smashed it. Good joke. Well done, Andy. You're hilarious. So something that somebody asked out, you know, for those that are balls deep in this and really interested in it, quite interesting, that I had definitely not noticed, is that apparently the squares are smaller now, which I hadn't known, which is fine. Don't know why, they just decided to do it. How does this open up? It's a lovely, it's just a square. Oh, okay, all right. It's still a nice thick board, in case you're wondering. This is, I'm no Underworlds expert, but I believe this is the same material that it's always been. It is a thinner board, or a thicker board, sorry, than the tokens. So cool, sounds good. We've got 2 sides. Lovely. Feels nice and sturdy. I would happily play on that. That's good. I don't know what all of these are. I've yet to dig into the rules, obviously, but that's cool. Nice. And we get all the tokens we need. Lovely jubbly. So the big issue that a lot of, basically there are now, as with any new edition where you seriously change the rules, you end up with 2 camps of players. Oh, the quick start guide, lovely. I think a quick start guides are super useful. Oh, what's this? Scan for a video playthrough. Okay, cool. So presumably that means GW is going to do a tutorial, and the tutorial will just be this, which is fine. That's okay. So you kind of get 2 camps of players. You get those who liked the old edition and wanted a few tweaks maybe, but didn't want a new game. And then you get those who didn't play the last edition and are interested, or perhaps those that, I suspect this might be the most common type, people that played and didn't really care. They were like, yeah, that's fine, I guess. I probably won't play it again because I've got so many other things to play. And that type of person is probably who we're going to be looking at kind of reeling back in with this release. The real question is, can GW do enough to promote whatever this new type of game is and get it to new players, right? I think it's easy to look at this and say, hey, oh, I think that's a new guy. Oh, lovely. These are 2 new guys? Oh, wow. Sorry, as you can tell, I'm seeing this for the first time. Grandfather's Gardeners and Jaws of Itzal. Love me some lizard men. Damn, I know I'm getting that bad boy. Faux show. So basically, they've simplified the game quite a lot. And currently, because I have done a little bit of looking online, because I've always been vaguely interested in Underworlds. You've got the people that like the game, and they are sad that the game is different at all, okay? And we ignore them. And then we get people that like the game and are sad that the game is massively different. and that they have removed so much complexity and they've completely ruined, in their minds, a great game. And I understand that. However, and this is what I've always said when it comes to Underworlds, because Underworlds used to be a competitive game, the fact that nobody attended tournaments was an issue, right? And also, that means that for one of GW's games, where it is competitive, like that's the marketing, this is a competitive game, it made, it's a nice and thick card. It made it very, very obvious that the game was hugely underperforming. Now, I'm no corporate shill. That's a lie, I am. But it's very clear that whatever... So, okay. It's not always good to do what sells the most, okay? It's possible that Warhammer Underworlds was the perfect game for what it is, the hybrid of card and board game, okay? It's possible it was the pinnacle of that game design, entirely. I would never say it isn't. I didn't play it enough to really critique it. However, as a total tourist to it, I've played it a few times, ever. Nobody played it. I have a local game group, and total anecdote, and they play everything. They even play things that aren't Games Workshop. Can you believe that exists? And I could go in there and I could see, I couldn't see Mantic being played. I could see everything being played. I did see Mantic being played, actually. Everything being played. I saw all of GW games. I saw Infinity. I saw so many board games. Obviously, we had a bunch of card games. Everything gets played there. They're a very open-minded group of guys. And I have not once seen anybody play Warhammer Underworlds or anybody even ask for a game of Underworlds. So something, anecdotally, is missing from a group of players that are so open to just raw mechanics leading what they do. Why is Underworlds not tickling that? It's very interesting. And so I have to conclude from my anecdote there and from the fact that tournaments were not being attended, that whatever Underworlds used to be, it is not that, and it did not work. So, not that we should always change everything to be something that sells the most, but as someone that has tried to get other people into other games that are not Games Workshop games, and I can look at them and say that these are, subjectively, obviously, these games are better in every single way than a Games Workshop game. Do you want to play it? No, I don't. I don't care. People don't care that games are good or bad. They just want to play 40k, okay? That's how it is. And anything else that gets played that isn't 40k is just a godsend, and an absolute blessing and a miracle that it happened, okay? That's the truth. So when I'm trying to get other people into playing whatever, Halo, Dead Zone, Infinity, War Machine, these are my particular interests. It's great, and they can look at the game and say, you know what, yeah, that is the game that I would prefer. But nobody plays it. It's like, oh, okay. So I can happily say that this change to Underworlds is a chance for it to get more players, and more players means you get to play the game more. And it's possible to those out there that have been into it and are disappointed with the simplicity, the simplification, that you will only now be getting to play a shadow of the game that you preferred, that you liked, but you'll actually get to play it. Unless, of course, you were playing online in that Discord server, in which case, yeah, Good for you. And of course, there are local pockets, as always. You know, there's always exceptions to the rule, but I think that's the key thing to keep in mind, that those were exceptions to the rule, because ultimately, if the game worked, they wouldn't have changed it this radically. It's a little bit sad, but also, I'd like to play the game. I intend to go and play the game, so I'm going to go do that. If I decide I like this game and think it's a bit of fun, something I quite like doing is how to play videos. Do you want to see a custom how to play video of Warhammer Underworlds, this new edition, this totally new edition, which is very similar to the last one? Well, go and check out my other channel, Tactical Skew. I do, it seems, just battle reports and how to play videos. So if you want to see this played, not played, how to played it, go check that out. Anyway, this has been Andy. Finger guns. Bye.